Hello, and welcome to Pop Cultural Exchange. Did I say that right? Pop Cultural Exchange?
No, you didn't.
It's a podcast that's half entertainment podcast, half hostage situation. My name is Lin. You may call me Lin because that's my name. And I have here with me my first victim / co-host / guest, Jay.
Yep, hi, I'm Jay.
You may call him Big Daddy Jay.
Yes, Big Daddy Jay. I'm here to be abused by Lin and my lack of pop culture knowledge.
Don't say that when we're filming on a couch. Don't say words like abused by Lin. We should probably explain the concept of this podcast first. So basically, it's my plan to introduce my friends to things I like or things I like to hate, force them to watch it, and then force them to talk about it.
Yeah. Admittedly, I have never seen any of the Fast and Furious movies with the exception of the first one, and even that was about 15 years ago.
Oh, by the way, we're doing the Fast and Furious series.
Oh, yeah, spoilers. Sorry. Well, I sure fucked that.
We're starting with the Fast and the Furious.
The first one, yeah.
Not Fast and Furious, which is the fourth one.
Obviously, yeah. Who doesn't know that?
Not the Fast and the Furious, a movie from 1954, I learned today.
Oh.
Yeah, they had to pay those people to be able to use the name again. It's apparently a movie about a trucker who kidnapped a woman and take her on a cross-country race to Mexico. Let's watch that instead.
I honestly, yeah, I could be down with that. That sounds pretty cool.
All right, so we should probably try and introduce ourselves first. Jay, why don't you go first? Guess first.
Oh, me first.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, no pressure whatsoever. Jay, I know very, very little about pop culture. I've known Lin for a few years now, and he talks about a lot of anime, movies, superhero stuff, and I have no idea what the hell he's talking about ever. I've seen an Avenger movie. Maybe you took me to see Endgame.
Yeah,
That's the only one I remember, and that's the only one I've seen. And I remember the emotion in your face watching everything happen, and I'm like, who gives a shit about that guy? Why is
that guy huge?
Why is that raccoon talking? Like, this is... Yeah, I don't get it. I don't. But you know what? I signed myself up for this. I'm gonna watch some movies. I'm gonna let you make fun of my lack of knowledge. So, you know what? Great. Let's just fucking do this.
Oh, you want to tell the audience a little bit about where you're from and where we are? We're both Australians, by name only.
Yeah, we're yes. Yes, we're both immigrants to this fine country. Originally from America. I'm Puerto Rican American.
Don't hold that against him. He's okay.
I'm originally from Boston, hence the accent and bad language. And Lin?
So I was born in Burma, and I'm an Australian. Lived here 2/3 of my life now, I guess. God, I feel old. I grew up with a stupid mismatch of like Chinese drama, Japanese anime, and like Western action movies. And like reading comics like Tintin and Asterix and stupid French comics. So I think that's the reason why I started this podcast. A lot of the time people assume pop culture knowledge based on their geological location. And with me, you don't know where you stand. Like I might start talking about a movie like nobody has ever heard of, or you might start talking about like a movie you all see every Christmas, and I've never seen it. So today, Jay, you've signed up for the entire Fast and Furious series.
All 8 movies?
And the 9th is going to be in cinema soon, which we will go watch together if we get there in time. If not, we'll have to get it on DVD or streaming.
All right.
We should get there in time. I'll hound you to do this regularly.
Yeah, I know you will.
The podcast should go up every week. I won't put it up until I know it can go up every week. But we'll see how long this guy lasts. He might tap out before 4.
9 movies. All right.
9 movies.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what does Fast and Furious mean to you? Like, oh, you've seen one, right?
I've seen the first one. It's all about family, right?
All right.
That's what it is.
So when did you see the first movie?
So the first movie I would have saw the early 2000s.
So it came out in 2001.
Yep. So that would have been around the time I saw it. I actually had a friend back in college whose parents ran a video store. And as part of that, they would get screeners. And he would take the screeners, bring them back to uni, and we'd watch them. So I saw Fast and Furious after it left the movies, but before it was actually released on VHS and DVD.
Oh, so you saw the movie illegally?
No, legally. It was a screener that was given to the video store.
This is actually a sting operation. Guys, come on.
Yes, the studio audience is flashing.
Oh, yeah. We have a couple of studio audience here. They want producer credits, but we're only crediting them as audience. They're here to get drunk and watch Fast and Furious movies with us.
Yeah. We're here to get drunk.
I'll drink to that.
Yep.
But yes, so, and the last time I would have seen the movie would be around 2005, just through, having cable TV in the States and, you flipping through channels and Fast and Furious, the Fast and the Furious. I realize I have to.
Yep.
Yeah. The Fast and the Furious would be on TV.
So, seen in 2005, so you were what, like 30, 35? Around that time?
Off.
I don't know if you guys are listening to the audio version of the podcast or the video version going up on YouTube on Much Ado About Nerd Things. Check it out. If you can see him, you'll see that he is
Yeah, finish that sentence, Lynn. Finish that sentence.
He is Adonis sitting next to me. But in our group of friends, he is slightly older than all of us. That means me, a slightly rotund, tiny Asian dude with a body that can be described as a rice sack, can make fun of him repeatedly for being old. And I'm only telling you guys this because that's going to be like 80% of the humor in this podcast. So
is that a central theme now?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Good.
You already signed the contract. You can't pull it.
Signed shit.
Verbal contracts are binding in the state of Queensland.
Never would have happened in Victoria.
So what do you remember about Fast and Furious 1 before we see?
Very, very few snippets. I remember something about cars driving under trucks, which seemed really, really realistic at the time.
Man, they did it for real, so it's realistic. It wasn't CGI.
I remember Race Wars and the half-assed rave party that was.
Oh, but I wasn't talking about 2020. Oh, do we have to cut that out? Do we have to cut that out?
Just in operation.
I remember. What else I remember? I didn't knock on nobody.
You were yelling that before. I don't actually remember that. And I saw this movie like 3 years ago.
I was yelling that in sound check. Yeah. What else? Disrespecting my family. That whole scene. Like, yeah, I definitely remember that whole scene.
So you remember a little bit. But
yeah, a little bit.
In general, about the series, what do you like? I think you picked up some stuff through osmosis and seeing ads and stuff. Like, what do you remember? Like, what are the main things?
So from the impression I got from watching commercials for the movies and hearing people talk about it, what I gathered is it is getting progressively more and more ridiculous each movie. So I remember seeing the commercial where Vin Diesel drives a car out of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai into another building. Shit like that. Like,
we'll get there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can only imagine, what it started off from, living your life a quarter mile at a time to let's drive out of one building into another into whatever it's got to be now. Because if it's going at that rate, that is just exponentially upwards. I can only imagine what the 9th movie is going to be about.
Jay, he never stopped living his life quarter mile at a time.
Of course he doesn't. I've seen pictures of Vin Diesel lately. He has not stopped living his life a quarter mile at a time.
When we were first thinking about this podcast, I actually thought about making you watch the first one again and then the 9th one and just watch your mind be blown. But I think we're gonna go in a not chronological order, release order.
So this is gonna be a slow gorging process.
Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna take me pressuring you a lot to make sure you don't quit before we hit 4.
All right, can we get an over under from the studio audience of at which movie I'm gonna hate myself?
3 or 4. I'm gonna say 3.5.
3.5. 3.5 is the over under.
Yeah.
Okay, so get on to your sports 4.
Yeah.
So 3.5, 4. That's the good bet.
Oh,
Okay.
3.5, 4 total. Okay, I thought you guys are shitting on Tokyo Drift, and I was gonna come to bat for
It's
Tokyo Drift.
like the point where he feels like this is gone too
Okay, you guys can't say complete sentences. I'm not sure the mics are picking you. Let's just ignore that.
No. So the general consensus is around between the 3rd to 4th movie. I'm really gonna start hating this, and I'm gonna regret all my decisions.
But 5, you'll be back in again. You'll be all in. You'll show up dressed like Vin Diesel. You shave your head. I'll be Han.
I'll be, yeah, I was about to say like 15 kilos overweight. And...
Hey man, you're a lot closer to Vin Diesel than I'm to Han. Anyway, so anything you want to add before we start this? Oh, by the way, you might notice that we're drinking while doing this. We're gonna keep drinking while watching. These are 10.4% craft beers.
We're gonna be pissed.
So when we come back, we might be a lot less coherent. Alright, let's go watch this.
Cheers.
Cheers! Oh, by the way, he said he's not old, but these are his coasters. Alright, peace.
Oh, fuck off.
Watch your back! Hey man, he was in my face.
I'm in your face.
Alright, and we're back. We've seen a movie. That was certainly a movie.
That was definitely what was that? 1 hour and 42 minutes of film. Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
and we've drank several beers.
We've drank a lot.
we ate a banquet of Indian food. It is now almost midnight here in
Yep.
Australia. So and we're still drinking. So let's go. Let's talk about this. How'd you feel? How'd you feel after that movie?
It was ridiculous, but I enjoyed the ridiculousness.
Oh, buddy, if you think this is ridiculous.
I know that the series progresses further and further into ridiculousness. I've been briefed on that. My question is exactly how far into the ridiculousness before I'm like, nah, that's too much. Like, this was a good amount of ridiculousness for me. I'm not sure exactly how much more I can deal with.
Oh, yeah. I hope there's a possibility that you can come back out of the other side where you're like, no, I'm fully on board because it's too ridiculous. Because, this ain't nothing.
Okay, so I'm wondering. I wonder if it's like some sort of graph where. Have you ever seen Demolition Man?
Yep.
The ridiculousness there is over the top, but it's so over the top that it becomes good again. So I'm wondering if it's like a curve where it kind of the ridiculousness goes up, but my enjoyment is coming down. But at a certain time they meet.
Yep.
And then that's where I start not enjoying it anymore. But then the curves come back, and then when they intersect again, that's when I start enjoying it again.
It's like a Family Guy joke.
Yeah, exactly. They keep pushing the joke so much, like,
Yeah.
this isn't funny anymore.
Yeah.
But then they continue to push it.
Peter and
then
Chicken is fighting and fighting, and you're like,
Exactly.
man, it's been like 3 minutes, and then it's funny again.
Exactly. You keep doing it over and over and over again, where it becomes not funny, and then it becomes funny again. So I'm wondering if that's the same thing with the level of ridiculousness that's occurring in this movie franchise.
Well, I think so, but we'll wait and see how you feel. Because beginning of this movie, that truck heist, you're already questioning the logistics of it.
Why would you need to drive underneath the truck? Why?
To get to the other side. Why did the chicken cross the road?
What's the fucking point?
Okay, so what's the fucking point? Here, To those people who think Fast and Furious isn't cinema, that whole first truck hijack scene is a homage to a black and white John Ford movie called Stagecoach, where at one point the desperados hijack a stagecoach, and it's almost shot for shot. Almost. Obviously, they use crossbows and pistols instead of spear guns. And, of course, at no point a horse slide under the stagecoach to come out the other side.
My question, though, is were they still stealing TVs with embedded VHS players?
Yes, because this is also a time travel movie. And by that time travel movie, I mean it's made by time travelers because it is a black and white movie where DVR built into TVs did not exist.
The other thing that's ridiculous, so this movie was 2001, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 2001, is that PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2?
Oh, you got me there. I think it has to be PlayStation 1.
Okay, so PlayStation 1 is still VHS timeline, but still getting towards the end of it.
Right.
So I'm just trying to line up my errors because I'm watching this. I'm like, fuck, this is 20 years ago now.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, must be VHS. It must be. Is it PS1 though? Because I mean, if they refresh the tech every 7 years. That would put it in PS2 getting to PS3 territory.
Okay, let's see. PlayStation 1 is 1994.
Yep.
So PlayStation 2 is... I googled it and it says PlayStation 2 is a video game console.
Well, there's all my questions answered.
1999.
That's it. Wrap it all up in a bow. All my questions have been answered. PS2 is a video game console. Excellent.
1999.
1999. All right, so we're talking the PS2 period.
Yeah.
And even then, we're still dealing with CRT screens, VHS players embedded into the CRT screen TVs.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck, technology.
And the plot centered entirely around on the idea that the police and the FBI has a joint operation trying to catch these freaking criminal masterminds that were stealing VCRs.
My favorite part, though, with the police is their time constraint. What is their time constraint? This I forgot how ridiculous this part was. What was the time constraint, Lin?
That they have to catch the people before the truck drivers take matters into their own hands.
Not only that, but Paul Walker knew exactly what that was going to be. He's like, it's like he had, he tapped into the aura of the American truck driver, and it's like, today's the day they turn arms on the robbers. Like he knew. He's like,
where's Dom going?
Yeah. They're going to rob a truck. Oh no, they're dead.
Yeah, they're dead. We're going to chase them down.
No, the truck drivers, today was the day. March 13th. Like, the day after Race Wars. It's on.
I'm going to need you to stop saying Race Wars.
But no, like, the truckers union had a date in mind. Like, alright, on Thursday, alright, if they rob us on Wednesday, fine. Let them have the shit. But they rob us on Thursday, guns.
I'm shooting that singlet wearing fucker right in the chest with this double barrel shotgun.
The mesh singlet wearing motherfucker.
That's true.
That was... I wonder what the budget was for that movie on mesh singlets. Because it wasn't zero.
It's a lot more than zero. You come from America, Jay. How well do truck drivers get paid in America?
Oh, they lap it up, man. They live in the lap of luxury.
Yeah?
Yeah, caviar, champagne, fine prostitutes. It's a life of pleasure.
You shitting me?
Yes. They get paid the same they get paid here. Dick all.
do they get paid per delivery, would you say? Do they get... Okay, if something... They still drove from point A to point B. Something happens in the way. Do you think it's going to impact their pay? Like, for example, they get robbed on the way. Hypothetical.
Well, first off, I would assume that there's insurance involved,
Right.
And secondly, I feel like the truck driver would bear no responsibility if he got robbed.
Yep.
So let's say I'm a truck driver,
Yeah.
and I'm making pretty shit money for a truck driver.
Yes.
Because, I mean, people just get paid shit money.
Yep.
I would let them take everything.
Yes.
They're like,
you would definitely not fight them off with a bat or a shotgun.
No.
I'm sure the audience has seen the point we're lurching towards drunkenly way ahead of us, but seriously, those truck drivers were fighting off the robbers like truck driving is a religion.
Yeah, they were fucking opening up on mesh singlet, like they had their fucking children in the back. Like,
you're right. I would have like pulled over. I would have been like, I'm just going to put my hands behind my head and put my face on the steering wheel, unload the damn thing, and just leave. I don't see any of you. My face is looking down.
like, I mean, maybe I the one thing I asked, like, yo, call me an Uber, all right? I need to get home.
Yeah.
We're in the fucking desert.
I don't think
here.
they're taking the trucks, man.
No. Either way, I'm just like, yo, just make sure I get home. I don't really give a shit. I got other shit to worry about. Like, yeah, no. Who is defending against? All right. Let's say I have anything remotely valuable in my car. I see 4 lowered Honda Civics in my rearview mirror. I'm pulling over. I'm just letting them have the shit.
One drive under your truck, come out the other side. You're like, that's not even possible. These are superhero motherfuckers.
Yes, if they manage to get under my small SUV, they're like, fine.
You call up your boss. Sorry, boss. G.I. Joe robbed me. You ain't getting your VCR TVs. All right, we gotta get off this topic. It's well spent. But in our defense, it is the central thesis of this movie, central plot point of this movie, which is this robbing of these trucks and the fact that truck drivers are going to defend themselves. It's almost as if the cops were too afraid for these criminals once the truck drivers had enough.
And let's not forget how quick the police were to try and pin it on the minority Asian family. They're like, yo, it's Johnny Tran. This dude had VCRs. It's Johnny Tran.
I have written down here in my note, they have a montage of Vin Diesel fucking and the police fucking up.
Yes. So yeah. Vin Diesel is banging Michelle Rodriguez in the garage on top of the car while Johnny Tran's house is getting raided. They're all sitting down and having dinner. They just like, yeah. You guys steal some shit? And Johnny Tran be like, yo, don't disrespect my family.
Yeah, he's yelling at the cops. We can't hear what's happening because some sort of metal soundtrack might have been rap is playing over the whole thing. Yeah. His father slapped him?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there.
Look, this is, I think that's a very realistic portrayal. Like, we were discussing it during the movie where we're like, he seems very rich. Why is he stealing VCR? Or is it like a criminal family? So our question is like, is the dad mad because his son is a criminal? Or is he mad because he got caught?
I'm leaning towards caught because, like, all right, let's say that was Johnny Tran's house, right? Not his father's. If that was Johnny Tran's house and his dad knew his upbringing and would have some insight into his life, he would have to know, like, yo, all you do is race cars around. How do you have this much money, dude? he's not stupid. He's got to know that seeing how his son lives, he would have to know that his son is involved in a life of crime, which makes me think that they are a crime family, and his father is upset because he did something to get caught.
Look, counterpoint. Even though I didn't grow up around Asian crime families, although I do know somebody who's in juvie. Let's not go there.
Yeah, I grew up in Puerto Rican crime family, so.
I did grow up. I did know a couple of Asian LGBTQ people who grew up with their family, and let me tell you, don't ask, don't tell. Turn a blind eye to the obvious is quite strong.
Okay.
So that could be the case here, but I like my theory, which is the cop says something like he's going to cell block C, and the dad says, cell block C, why not cell block A? Slap the right out. Yeah, that might be the worst joke I've ever done. Moving on.
We'll just edit that part out.
No, man, I'm leaving it in. I'm doing the editing. You don't tell me what to take out. By the way, the people who are watching the video, I have a ridiculous notebook full of notes, and they all nonsense because we're drunk now, and we were drunk when we wrote this. One of this says, I wrote a sentence that says, Paul Walker spin out driving straight. And yep. I came back and underneath added another word that says twice, and I underlined it. So yeah, at some point I think I might be recalling this line from number 2, and I don't know if it happens in here. They imply that Paul Walker get this job because he's the best driver they have in the department. But, yeah, he can't even drive straight.
Is it the Department of Horrible Driving?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, all the cops seem very highly strung, and they seem to be running the op out of Iron Man's house.
Oh, man, Bilkin. Bloody Bilkin. Bilkin says that's Johnny Tran.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they just, like, raid him, and then try to pin it on Paul Walker, even though Paul Walker's like, no, I don't have enough evidence. Don't raid him.
Don't raid Johnny Tran. So we raid Johnny Tran. Whatever. That's fine.
They seem to be running their secret surveillance operation out of a room which is 50% floor to ceiling glass windows.
Which is what you want for a secret operation.
Yeah. And with a little shallow pool right outside, which at some point Paul Walker walks into as if he wants to die. Okay, a lot of my notes are nonsense because this says Ja Rule referred to himself in third person.
So one of my notes, just in big letters, nothing else, all I wrote was Ja Rule.
He is in it.
He is definitely in this movie.
His name was
Edwin.
Edwin, I think.
Which, I mean, if Ja Rule would to be cast in my movie, the name I would have came up from would definitely be Edwin.
His name is Edwin, which is a white accountant's name, and he
plays a white accountant in this movie, so it makes sense.
He referred to himself as Edwin multiple times, as if they couldn't be bothered writing other characters calling him by his name, so they're just like, I'm Edwin.
Well, that's the thing, like, every other character in this movie had, like, a stereotype. Like, the Mexican guy, hey, I'm Hector. I'm like, all right, fine.
Oh, yeah, I guess they had to use an outlier.
Yeah. They're like, we can't be all the way stereotypical. All right, let's make Ja Rule Edwin.
Oh, which, by the way, this is a PG-13 movie, and
Ooh, the titty.
Right. I have it in my trivia section that it was when they first tried to get it rated, it came back R, and they had to edit the part where Vince's arms get all fucked up and bloody because it was too gory.
Okay.
To get it down to PG-13. But at one point, Ja Rule full on grope a woman.
Yeah.
Not over the shot action.
He got in there.
His hand was like the only thing that was stopping us from seeing those boobs was Ja Rule's hand.
He would know if she was cold or not.
By the way, these movies, they get very, very male gazy with their portrayal of women. TNA.
What? No.
It get worse from here.
Oh, the one scene at the party where it's like,
yes.
All right, so for 2001, this would have been, oh my god, there's two girls making out.
True.
Like now watch them like they're showcasing it like it's this oh my god mind-blowing thing, and now I guess in 2021 terms I'm like,
were they showcasing it though? I kind of feel like
it was a long slow shot.
It is true, but like they also didn't have like a bunch of people like surrounding those two girls gawking, which I feel like a lot of movies, especially a lot of movies
At
of
the
these
time,
caliber,
that's fair.
would do.
That's fair.
But my point is, right, like it's weird talking about these movies. Like, at one point, Vince called Paul Walker a homophobic slur, which I mean, Vince is supposed to be like a dick, so
yeah.
But still, it was very jarring, and but the thing is, right, these movies are also very diverse.
True,
like, especially as the franchise continue. It is one of the most diverse Hollywood blockbuster there is. And it is consistently diverse, right?
True.
But, like I said, diversity is a good thing. A lot of TNA and very male-gazy portrayal of women. Almost every party scenes begin with, like...
a butt shot.
A butt shot, boob shot, boob shot, set to a hip-hop soundtrack. And then it continues. Like, they just use it as establishing shot. They use it like you would use, like, a skyline of LA. But, not bad thing, but another good thing, they also do have a lot of strong female characters, especially as the franchise continued.
I mean, Letty was a very strong female character. Yes.
Well, I mean, she did spend most of this movie just, like, in relation to Vin Diesel's character, but
I mean, in a couple of races though,
she win races. Dominant. That's right. Yeah, she have agency in a lot of scenes.
Yep.
She did call those two women skanks, which was weird, and I don't see the point of that scene because it make Letty look like petty, and it make Vin Diesel look shitty.
Yeah.
So another thing is, yes, strong female characters, but they also keep killing them off.
Spoilers.
But I didn't know who I did say who get killed off. But also on the other side, they also bring them back. This is definitely the sprinkles are also cursed situation.
Wait. So people die, but then they come back. Does this again? I don't know how the series goes, but just yes or no. Does the series take a zombie turn?
No.
Okay,
but it might as well.
Fucking hell!
It takes a turn that is less believable than if they came back as a zombie. Look, there's just a little teaser, a little morsel of what's to come. I will not be answering any more questions.
Like, I'm expecting Mia to pop out of the dirt and be like, Vincent, stop stealing cars. Oh, sorry, Toretto, stop stealing cars.
Yeah, well, it escalates rather quickly.
Okay. I will leave it. I'll leave it to the movies. I'll let the movies do the talking.
You know what's a good scene that I really like? The scene where Paul Walker can't stop at the line. And he has to reverse back into the race line. I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate how sick of his shit everybody looked.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's like, look at this punk bitch.
Yeah. Even Ja Rule, who is a punk bitch.
Monica!
Yes. I appreciate that. Okay, so I know you've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
But the first time you saw it, before the reveal, did you call that Paul Walker is a cop?
I think I had already known that going into the movie. I don't think they really did much to hide that fact through the ads and whatnot.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is 20 years ago, but I do distinctly remember going into the movie that the whole thing was Paul Walker is a cop and he's trying to get embedded with a street racing gang.
So this is my point, right? Everybody in this movie, except paradoxically Vince, who is a moron.
Yeah,
everybody except Vince
idiot.
Is a moron.
The idiot was the one that was like, "Oh, he's a cop." Like after they raided Johnny Tran's house, and Johnny Tran's like, "Oh no, sorry." After Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, and Vince go to Johnny Tran's house, and Paul Walker's like, "Oh, DVD players." And then the next day,
that's right.
Johnny Tran's house gets raided, and Toretto's and Johnny Tran goes to Toretto like, "They raided my house." How does Vin Diesel not put two and two together and be like, "Oh wait, we were just there," and fucking Goldilocks was sitting there
snooping around like a cop. By the way, they went to Johnny Tran's garage because they caught Paul Walker is doing cop shit in their own garage. They grab him and take him to Johnny Tran's to snoop around because that was his cover. He was like, "I'm not a cop, I'm just a snooper. I'm snooping everybody."
Just a snitch.
I was just trying to cheat for the race. I'm not a cop. So they take him to Johnny Tran's garage, at which point, instead of looking at the things that his alibi, he said he was snooping about the race car. Nope, he was straight up doing cop shit in that garage. Yeah. He was just looking at stolen goods. If you walk into that Toretto's diner, which apparently have terrible tuna sandwich, they make a point to repeatedly talk about how bad that restaurant is. If you walk into that diner and everybody in Dom's crew is sitting there and Paul Walker is sitting there, you would be like, "Oh, this is a place where a gang hang out and a cop." Here's a crew of criminals and a snitch, right?
One of you guys is a snitch. Is it Tony Tightlips or Jimmy the Squealer? I just love squealing.
One of my notes says Paul Walker says some scripted cop shit. And I don't remember why I wrote this, but it could have been one of 1,000 things.
Alright, so one of my notes was, get a load of all these fucking product placements.
Oh, yes.
Some serious product placements. First off, remember Nas?
No, I don't, because I buy my cars from dealers, not from the street. See, until you guys started talking about it in this watching, I thought NOS is just like nitrous oxide. I didn't realize it was a brand name of a particular...
It's a brand name of nitrous oxide.
Right. I feel like you can't have a bottled water called H2O. Right?
Says who? That's good branding.
Yeah, sure, descriptive, but still. And so you can, like, okay, in America, can you buy NOx and put it in your car? I feel like in America, they won't let you. So in Australia, they won't let you.
There's a lot of car modifications that are illegal that people do anyways.
True.
Like, there's people that lift their trucks up using hockey pucks.
Ugh.
Yeah. Look it up. It's a thing.
Well, what's the point?
Get your truck high.
All right. So a car can drive under it to get to the other side. I gotcha.
I regret talking now.
So you're talking about all these product placement.
Yeah.
What is the one that stand out to you the most?
Besides NOS?
Yep.
Corona,
right? Okay. So in the IMDb trivia session of this movie,
Yep.
the line that Vin Diesel says at his party to Paul Walker, where he says, "You can have any beer you want as long as it's Corona."
Yep.
It's written down that line is a reference to Henry Ford's famous. I don't know if he actually said this, but so I think it's apocryphal. Nah, I can't. People made it up. I don't know how to say the word. It could be a rumor that spread, but apparently Henry Ford says you can have it. You can have a Ford in any color you want as long as it's black. Right. Some motherfucker wrote this into the IMDb trivia session that this is a reference to that line by Henry Ford. I would say, no, sir. I say this line is a reference to Corona drop a truckload of cash in front of the production house.
No, that's definitely Corona being like, say the word Corona many times and we'll give you this money.
I don't think anybody who wrote this movie know about that quote by Henry Ford.
No.
Even if he said it at all.
There's no modern day philosophy in the writing team in this movie.
Which, by the way, I'm a big Fast and Furious fan, but I always maintain I don't like 1, 2, a bit iffy on 4. But watching it back, I don't know if it's a beer, I don't know if it's the friends I'm watching it with. I really enjoyed it.
Listen, it was fun. I had a good time. And again, it could have just been the fact that we were making fun of the movie the whole time. Or the fact that fucking Ja Rule was in it. And, I mean, who doesn't love a good laugh at his expense?
If you love cameos of people in the rap and hip-hop genre that are, let's say, at the end of their career, you will love the rest of this franchise.
All right, I'm in. I'm in.
I also wrote down floppy disk.
I forgot about floppy disks.
Yeah,
except for the fact that I keep them in my home as drink coasters.
Yes, we're using them as drink coasters right now. In fact, the floppy disk they use in this movie is way more modern than the floppy disk you're using as a coaster.
The 3.5-inch discs as opposed to the 5 1/4-inch discs. So these guys only hold what, like 720K of RAM? Is that what it was? Or 540? Whereas those hold a solid 1.44 megs.
Floppy disk, by the way, kids, if you don't know what they are, it's
young children.
It's as if somebody 3D printed the save icon.
That is interesting. That is still the save icon today, despite the fact that no one has touched a floppy disk or used a floppy disk in that purpose for at least 15 to 20 years.
Yeah, no, look, I joke, but kids know that thing as a save icon. They don't know what the fuck is a floppy disk. Yeah. Which, in this movie, seems to be some sort of magical device that has 3D blueprints of cars in them.
Yeah. I mean, the kids today, the kids today, they'll never burn their crush a mixed CD.
Oh God! Oh, don't go there. Mistapes of like 7 songs that you stole from LimeWire.
Dude, I got what, like 7 or 8 years on you.
Yep.
I would record
7 or 8.
Yeah.
No, 17. All right, go on.
No, I'm done. The story's over now. I was gonna regale you with a great anecdote that you just pissed away.
Anecdotes about before LimeWire, when you're sharing files on the I don't know what predate LimeWire.
Next topic.
All right. By the way, that 3D blueprints of that car is clearly just pictures that they saved on MS Paint. It's just like the outside of a car suddenly flies away, and it's the inside of a car. I say inside of the car very loosely. It's just the car in like wireframe form, and Paul Walker is impressed. Like, whoa! Like, did you not go to MIT or some shit like that? Oh, and this dude who's supposed to be a whiz kid, Jesse.
Yep.
We both arrived at the same time that he is the prototype of Jesse Pinkman.
From Breaking Bad, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, not because, Jesse Pinkman is stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
And this kid's supposed to be real smart.
But it's
the demeanor, right?
Yeah, the demeanor, the mannerisms, the way he presents himself, even the way he talks and facial expressions.
Right, and it's also like he's the like whitest kid out of his dad trying to be a gangbanger. Yeah. Like he talk as if he's tough. He says yo a lot. He ain't fooling anybody.
Yo, Mr. White.
Yeah, he's just hanging out with the right crowd, so he hasn't got capped yet.
Yes, but you say that, but he got capped.
He got capped. That's true. Like,
sorry,
he fucked
spoilers.
up. I mean, look, this is this whole thing. I should have probably put it at the beginning. This whole thing is a spoiler for this 20-year-old movie. Everything in this will be spoilers. But yes, because he failed to dive out of a drive-by shooting that take like a minute and a half to occur.
They heard coming a mile away.
Right.
Like
Vin Diesel's spider sense was tingling.
Yeah, both Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. The film made it look like they had this massive spider sense. Like, I sense that there's dirt bikes coming. But have you ever not heard a dirt bike from a mile away? They're fucking loud.
Right. And who are the only people who ride bikes in this movie? The guys who want to Uzis. Kill you.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, yeah. Oh no, freaking. You know, I'm just gonna call him Jesse Pinkman from now on. Jesse Pinkman.
I don't know his last name. It could be Pinkman.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, dude, you hear this shit, duck. You know they're after you. You lost your car to them and you sped off.
Yeah.
You know, I bet he didn't even get it cleaned like Toretto said.
Yeah.
It was like, he's getting it cleaned. I didn't even do that.
Notice how Paul Walker didn't call helicopter evac for that guy. He called for Mr. Mesh singlet guy, Vince. Man, poor Jesse. That's how much he didn't matter.
Him and Jesse were buddies too.
Right.
It was like, fuck that idiot.
Yeah.
And then
Vince tried to kill him multiple times.
Mesh shirt, he's been trying to get with his girlfriend the whole time. He's like, whoa, hold on.
I'll blow my cover.
Oh yeah. How big of a helicopter we get? No, bigger.
To be fair, I think the implication is that he's dead. But still. So, sudden change of topic. At one point, we find out about Vin Diesel's criminal history. Mm-hmm. And his the police chief or whatever he is, the same guy who plays the police in Monk. Somehow, I think this is pre-Monk, and he somehow has less hair than he did in Monk.
I call that the Jeremy Piven pre-Entourage.
All right. He pulls out a picture of somebody Vin Diesel beat up, and you said...
That's fucking John Cena.
It's not, but it did look a lot like John Cena.
It looked a lot like John Cena.
At which point, the rest of us who are watching the movies, who are familiar with this franchise and familiar with what's coming from this franchise soon, had terrible poker face. Which led you to, you take it away.
So John Cena's going to be in the movie, right? Like, he has to show up at some... The way you guys are looking at me, like, what do you know? Makes me think that...
To be fair, we looked at you because you were like, wouldn't it be great if John Cena showed up in one of these movies? And we were like, Jay.
God damn it.
Right. I'm not... Once again, this is a little morsel to keep you motivated to keep going. Yeah, everybody and their dog shows up in this movie. And
of course.
And John Cena might be joining us at some point in the future.
Yeah, all right.
I wish we had I wish we had a live recording of us watching the movie, because the point in which it's like, haha, that's John Cena. Imagine if John Cena shows up and all of us just like looking at each other and looking at you.
All right, so maybe for the next movie we just have to have a camera on us as we're watching it, and then just get little highlight snippets. Because I was like, oh, that looks like John Cena, and you all looked at me like,
we thought you might have seen
these shit-eating grins in your face, like,
we thought you might have seen the trailers.
You're all looking at me like you're the little baby birds and I'm the mama bird, like, just regurgitate it into our mouths.
Okay, so I think we've generally went over the major plot points of this movie.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Oh, I mean, other than that ridiculous race at the end, which follows on from Vin Diesel and Paul Walker's both having killed a man. They just like pull up at a red light and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's race."
But like, they're like, all right, so that train track is exactly a quarter mile away, and we're gonna race towards that. Like, dude, trains go that way. Why don't we just start at the train tracks and go the other way? That way, you don't have to worry about like you got to de-risk this whole project, right?
I don't know, man. They just chased down two Asian gangsters on bikes and killed them. I don't think they're thinking about de-risking anything.
These are all things that happen when you live your life a quarter mile at a time.
True.
Yeah.
True. Let's think of Fast and Furious franchise as things that happens when you live your life quarter mile at a time.
Okay.
By the way, you're gonna get sick of hearing that phrase.
I'm already getting there.
Okay, here's a little section I like to call things I read in the IMDb trivia page about Fast and Furious.
All right, hit me.
Okay, so what do you think about any of these actors playing the role of Brian Spliner? We never found out if Spliner is his real name or his undercover name, but I
thought his real name was O'Connor, right? He says,
"Oh, that's
O'Connor,
right, Brian O'Connor. You're right." Yeah. I've seen this movie like 4 times. You were paying better attention than I was. That's right, of course. In the later, it's Brian O'Connor. Do you get like a little award for stumping Lin, like knowing more than Lin on the movie? Well, you being more sober than Lin, maybe. What do you think about Christian Bale? It would be a very different movie. Yeah. First of all, he would have quit halfway through acting against Vin Diesel.
He would have been too serious for this movie. Christian Bale is a very serious actor.
Are you telling me other actors in this movie did not bring their A game? Did not bring their serious game? I mean, Ja Rule groped a woman.
Ja Rule acted about as hard as he could act. And given he was acting as hard as he could act, got the exact amount of lines that Ja Rule should ever get in a movie.
Which is 4.
Yes.
What do you think about Eminem?
As the Paul Walker character.
Yep.
I actually like that.
Yeah, I think he would have been a lot more convincing, especially his metatextual status as a white rapper. I think he would have been a lot more convincing as an undercover cop that would have fit in the scene.
Yeah, well, the problem is Paul Walker is a pretty boy, right?
Yes,
and Paul Walker, rest in peace, he cannot fucking act,
especially in this movie. I think he gets better. But in this movie,
the acting was not good.
Yeah, like there's scenes, especially that scene in the diner. At the restaurant where he was on the date with Mia.
Yeah,
and he's just staring at her. I'm like, what emotion are you portraying? Are you hungry?
Yes.
Like you angry? You gonna punch her?
Is it gas? It's gas. Is it gas? But no. Eminem, I think, would have brought a certain roughness to the role, which I think would have done a lot of good.
Yes.
I could see Eminem.
Well, yeah. It's not like Eminem is a great actor, but yeah, I can see Eminem in that role. So, I mean, obviously you've caught on. These are other actors that were considered for the role of Brian.
All right.
And this is the last one. And as somebody who used to live in Boston, I know he will be near and dear to your heart.
All right.
You know where this is going? Marky Mark himself, Mark Wahlberg, was
Marky Mark. Of course. Honestly, I think Marky Mark would have been alright as well. Like, I think
he would have been.
I think in the same context as Eminem, he brings a certain level of streetwise tough guy.
Yeah, or like at least a guy trying to act tough, which would have fit the character.
Yeah, exactly. I could have seen both Eminem and Marky Mark.
He would have yelled a lot more of those lines.
But he has that whole kind of angry, confused thing going on. It's like, what's going on here? What are you guys doing? Where'd these VCRs come from? Shit like that. Like,
hey, at least he would have delivered that line. Hey, man, he was in my face. More believable.
Yes, that would have been like that line was probably written for Michael Myers.
I love that line.
He was in my face.
I love that line, by the way. And Vin Diesel replied, "I'm in your face." That line, I don't live a month before I think of that line. That line lived rent free in my head. It's the dumbest interaction between two human beings.
Yeah, now I'm in your face.
It means nothing. It's just noise.
You work for Harry?
Oh, yeah. You just got fired. All right. So what about these actresses which were considered for Mia?
Okay.
Apparently it was written for Eliza Dushku. But do you remember?
I remember Eliza.
Yeah.
She's also from Boston.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She for the viewers who might not know, she's Faith from Buffy.
Yep.
She's in Dollhouse.
Bring It On.
Yeah, that's right. That's probably her breakout role, right?
Yeah.
Bring It On.
Yeah.
I mean, she's famous as Faith. I don't know which came first, but yeah.
Proud of Watertown, Massachusetts. Love Eliza Dushku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said they wrote that role for Eliza Dushku, but they turned it down. How does that work? Don't write roles for people without asking them first. What is that, wishful thinking?
I'm gonna go roll for Anthony Hopkins after this. See how I feel. All right, I got this movie with Anthony Hopkins and Meryl Streep that I wrote.
I'm just imagining that meme of like the guy being handed a note and reading it and being like, "This is useless." It's just Eliza Dushku's being handed the script to the Fast and the Furious. She's like, this is useless. No. Other actresses that were considered were Natalie Portman.
Actually, going back,
Yeah.
Eliza Dushku in the role, yes.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think, look, once again, the lady who played Mia, her last name is Brewster. I cannot recall her first name at the moment. She gets better as the series progresses, and even in this movie, I don't think she's that bad. She's better than fucking Paul Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in the scenes where she and Paul Walker were acting against each other. Yeah. Clearly, one person is carrying those scenes.
But that's the thing, though. Like, that role was a combination of toughness and innocence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know the actress's name who portrayed her, but she did a very good job. But again, that's why I think Eliza Dushku would have been a great. I can see how they wrote that role around Eliza Dushku.
Yeah,
because she could pull both of those off.
Yeah, which for example, Faith. That's Natalie Portman. And remember,
this is pre V for Vendetta.
Oh yes, this doesn't want Natalie Portman. This is prequels era.
Yeah,
Natalie Portman. Star Wars prequel Natalie Portman.
Yeah, I mean,
look, I'm not trying to pin the prequels on Natalie Portman. I'm saying that she didn't do great in those eyes.
But my initial instinct is no, it's not. It wouldn't be the right role.
I don't think she's
But the
I don't
more
think she's tough enough.
But the more I think about it, I think she is. Because, I mean, look at Leon the Professional.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
That was innocence and toughness right there.
Right.
Like,
true.
The 12-year-old girl whose family is murdered pretty much in front of her, and she has to befriend this assassin who teaches her how to kill.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's this, this innocent thing that is just, taken in by this assassin. And yeah,
right. Okay.
Like, in that
You're
sense,
right.
I could absolutely see it working.
Right. I'm not giving her enough credit.
She's fucking tough as nails in V for Vendetta.
Yes, she's great in V for
movie.
Vendetta.
Absolutely love that
She's great
movie.
in V for Vendetta. As somebody who loved the comics, I have mixed feeling about that movie, but Standing by Itself is a good movie, and she did a great job in that movie.
Did not know until recently that was a comic book movie.
Oh, yeah? You should read it sometimes. I have it. It's great. All right. Next person. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
No.
Well, also...
Again, that's my initial no, but then I think about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sure, but also, look, I don't want to bring race into it, but you're going to tell me Sarah Michelle Gellar is Vin Diesel's sister?
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
I mean, they're going to throw in another line about her being adopted, I guess, but still.
We looked up, I remember we looked up Vin Diesel's Wikipedia.
That's right. and a lot of his interviews where he's like, oh, I get a lot of roles because nobody knows what race I am.
Yeah. Well, that's like, I'm like, is he like me? Is he Latino? Is he Italian? Like,
there's like a Google,
figure it out.
Yeah, there's like a Google autocomplete search that says, is Vin Diesel Filipino?
Yeah.
And by the way,
is he Hispanic? Is he Spanish? Is he Portuguese? Is he...
my Filipino friends, you guys are grasping at straws there, man.
Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? Nobody knows.
Yeah. And in the interviews, he's like, yeah, like nobody know what my origins are, what my background is. So I get a lot of roles, which is good for him. Good hustle.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Beating the racist sister. Great. But what we found out is he definitely has some Italian.
Okay.
Yeah. He said he's from a lot of mixed ethnic origin, and he also didn't personally know his father, and the information he obtained from his mother is inconclusive. But he said all he knows is he's connected to a lot of background. Which I feel like it's a Hollywood answer, but also good on him. Whatever. Keep some mystery.
Yeah. Dude, get those roles, man.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
So, wait.
I mean,
no.
Obviously I don't represent the whole Latino community, but I feel like if you were to play a Latino role, I'd be like, all right, yeah, whatever.
I mean, Dominic Toretto, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think he does have some Latino background,
maybe
right?
He does, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm
giving him a pass.
Right. Obviously, I'm not Latino, and I cannot speak for anybody. But the impression I get from online is I think that the Latino community have embraced him, especially maybe mainly for this role of Dominic Toretto he played for 2 decades.
You know what? He fit the role very well.
He does.
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst.
No, not a chance.
Really? I like Kirsten Dunst. I
did too. Did you see the season of Fargo that she was in?
No.
She's very good in that.
Yes?
Very, very good in that.
Okay.
I do not see her in this role at all.
No, I don't really see her in this role. You're right.
Wait, so they had Eliza Dushku and Kirsten Dunst in for this role?
Like,
were they just like, oh, who else was in? Bring it on.
So the male actor Christian Bale, Eminem, and Mark Wahlberg, they said they considered, which could be anything, but these actresses, they said, were auditioned.
Okay.
So I don't know. But also, like, the next actress is Jessica Biel, and I'm like, do you not have Vin Diesel in this role before? What are you auditioning? Sarah Michelle Gellar, Kirsten Dunst, Jessica Biel. Yes, I'm glad they didn't go with Jessica Biel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and this is my favorite bit of trivia, and I
Okay.
believe you'll love this.
Yep.
You know how Dom's car blew up at the end of this movie?
Mhm.
Because he turned around to look at Paul Walker's pretty face. And he crashed
After
into
they beat the
truck.
train.
After they beat the train, he crashed into a truck, which neither of them go and check if that truck driver is okay. That truck driver didn't come up to check on them. I presume he just drove away.
I don't know, man. So the way Toretto came up on that,
Yep.
he would have clipped the driver.
Oh, you think that guy's dead?
Yeah, that guy's 100% dead. And
Truck's way higher than a car height, though.
do you see how high?
Oh, that's true. He got lost.
He got lofted.
Okay.
He definitely took the driver out and killed him.
All right.
100%. And then Paul Walker's like,
Yeah, take my car. Okay.
you should probably get out of here.
Because you just killed the truck driver.
Yeah.
Even ignoring the Asian guy on a bike you killed about 3 minutes before.
The competent police are going to be here soon.
Paul Walker, bad cop, bad criminal. Anyway.
All right. Question.
All right.
Is he a worse cop or criminal?
I think he's a worse cop. But I feel like his heart was never in it. Right? Like, I think
He's been boosting cars since he was a kid.
His heart was never in it. I think he's a bad criminal because he's a deep down a dumbass. I think that's what makes him a bad criminal. But I think he has deep down a lot of criminal urges.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's definitely a worse cop.
Okay. Yep. I agree with that.
So like what he did, like chasing down that heist in progress and saving that dude. I mean that's some good shit.
Yeah.
Not a thing a cop should do.
No.
Like that was definitely like if he wasn't a cop, if he was part of the crew, he would never buy a drink again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think he's a better criminal.
Even Mesh Shirt would start buying him beers, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So going back to Dom's car being destroyed because of that truck.
Yep.
That they actually did that. They fucked up that car. That was a practical stunt.
Mm-hmm.
And after crashing that car, the body was used in a later movie as a prop in a junkyard.
The body of the person that died in the car crash?
No, the body of the car.
Oh, it's a perfectly good cadaver.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's stunt double.
It's just chuck in the freezer, save for the next movie.
I should have said chassis. The chassis of the car was used as an Easter egg in another movie.
Okay.
Herbie Fully Loaded. Apparently, when Herbie was picked up from in a junkyard, the Dominic Toretto's car can be seen in the background in the junkyard.
Does that mean that they're in the same universe?
Continue that thought. I love it. This means Herbie Fully Loaded and Fast and Furious exist in the same universe, which means Fast and Furious 10, a love bug in the system, is a possibility. I want Vin Diesel and Herbie to go undercover.
Who's directing this movie?
Look, you haven't met him yet. Justin Lin is going to do a lot of good for this franchise, but for that movie, I would choose Michael Bay.
I was going to say Zack Snyder.
Oh, God.
No. Like, if I had to choose two directors, that is like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. It's Michael Bay and Zack Snyder.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think one of those directors know exactly what he's doing, and the other have his head firmly up his own ass.
His name's Zack Snyder, yes.
Look, we can't insult Zack Snyder in the first episode of our podcast because their fan will hear it and they will get here. And they will send us very mean messages.
Yeah, I'm sure Zack's like, oh, these two guys in Australia making fun of me.
Oh, no. I'm sure he doesn't care.
No, exactly. He has so many people making fun of him right now.
Yes.
He can't focus his efforts on us.
True.
There's so many people making fun of for his bad directing.
He can't focus, period. Haha, Army of the Dark joke. That movie's so blurry. Go watch it. Or don't. It's real blurry. Look up some screenshots. Okay. I want to play a little game with you that I like to call Who Do You Think Will Come Back?
Okay.
From this... Okay, so you tell me who do you think will come back for number 2? Who do you think have a future in this franchise?
All right, so number 2, first off, I know the timeline jumps around chronologically. Is number 2...
Is the next movie chronologically?
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So, Paul Walker obviously is back.
Mm-hmm.
Toretto, I know Toretto comes back.
Mm-mm.
Not in the second movie.
No, he's not.
Okay. Michelle Rodriguez?
Not in the second movie. So is this your guesses for second movie or for the future of the franchise?
I was just guessing for the next movie.
Yeah.
So all right. Before I go further, give me rough synopsis of the next movie.
Paul Walker's back, and he's a bad cop.
Okay. Well, yeah.
You think he can't get worse? He get worse.
See, I would have thought then that like him and Vin Diesel start like getting in cahoots and stuff like that, and become family.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? That's the script they wrote.
Yeah.
I feel like we're burning material for the next podcast, but that's the script they wrote, but Vin Diesel didn't come back. So they changed it, but didn't really change it. You'll see when you see the second movie.
Okay. Is it just like some bald guy that kind of looks like Vin Diesel? Like, yeah, family.
Oh, buddy, you have no idea.
Damn it. All right. Okay. So who else? Does Jesse Pinkman come back from the dead?
I wish. You can't rule it out. At this point, these are comic book movies, and people don't stay dead.
Okay. Anyone else in the first
movie?
Okay,
let's just say second movie is a hard guess, because pretty much nobody come back for the second movie other than Paul Walker.
Okay.
So, yeah. Second movie is definitely... Vin Diesel said nobody when they shot this movie, right? So they didn't realize they needed Vin Diesel to make this work.
He just did Boiler Room, I think.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think he might have also done or just about to do Pitch Black.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up later. But he's definitely not a household name. And you can tell because he looked like a normal human person in this movie, not like a brick shit house with a... head
with a
taped
V-neck?
on top. Yeah. V-necks calling Coronas. But yeah.
Did they drink Corona in that movie?
The second movie. Oh, I don't know. Dude.
Does Corona make a comeback?
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't think so. That's always been a Vin Diesel thing.
Like, Corona's part of the family, right?
Right. Well, look, Paul Walker be like, oh, I only want Corona. That's not believable.
Yeah.
You know Paul Walker drink Bud Light. Look, I know that's a national insult for Americans, but look, in Australia, you give somebody a Bud Light and they're going to punch you in the face.
It's true.
Alright, so yes, like I said, second movie is an outlier. Pretty much nobody's come back. So who do you think has a future in the franchise?
I mean, everyone that's not dead at this point. Maybe not some of the sidekicks. Like, was it Leon and Vince? I don't see them coming back much. I feel like they were just kind of side characters.
We'll see. You don't think Mesh Shirt guy?
Yeah, Mesh Shirt. That's Vince, right?
Yeah, Mesh Shirt guy Vince.
And then Leon, the guy whose name I wouldn't have remembered unless...
But
the only reason I know his name is because we had the subtitles on when we watched it. And Leon said, we gotta go, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, his name's Leon.
I don't actually know if he comes back. But I mean, I'm not giving you definitive answers, yes or no,
Okay.
anyway. But I don't actually know if he come back.
But I would assume everyone else comes back. Like, obviously,
There's
Vin
Mia.
Diesel. Yeah. Vin Diesel, Mia, Michelle Rodriguez, and Paul Walker. Like, the main four.
Mm.
On the police side, I don't even remember anyone on the police side, so I don't know if they come back or not. I know Ja Rule is out after this movie. I already know that ahead of time. Or does he come back at all?
I presume Monica killed him.
Monica!
I presume he followed Monica home after the race and she shot him.
All right. Only she shot him before the fire festival.
Fire festival. We're dating the podcast. We can't do that.
Sorry. I mean, the fire festival was like 4 or 5 years ago now.
True.
Yeah. Yes. Well, if you're watching this podcast 20 years from now,
When Fire Festival is like the most popular festival in the world. How did you beat COVID-19? Let us know. Write us in.
yes. All right. Here's the easy way to tell if either of us will ever discover time travel. Okay? If either of us discover time travel, we will send our future selves to this point in time in history right now.
Nah, man, time travel's a bust.
Didn't happen.
No.
Yeah. Neither of us end up getting time travel.
That's depressing.
It's pretty depressing.
What were we talking about? Oh, yes. Who do you think come back? So, are you surprised by the fact that, did you thought Vin Diesel was in every single movie in this franchise? Oh, really? Well, next movie is going to be a rude awakening for you. Prepare for the one small enjoyment you get out of these movies to disappear. Because there's a lot of Paul Walker in this next movie. And also the plot is very similar to this one, but worse.
Listen, I'm not watching these movies for the acting, right? It's not. How many Academy Awards have they racked up over 8 movies?
They are a Golden Globe nominee.
How many Oscars did they get?
I don't. I'm 0.
Okay, yeah, all right. So we're not exactly watching Citizen Kane.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think all the sidekicks will come back?
No, I don't think any of the sidekicks will come back.
Okay. So, well, I mean, Jesse's dead.
Yeah.
Mia, you think?
I'd say, yeah, Mia, Michelle Rodriguez, Vin Diesel, Paul Walker.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you nobody except Paul Walker is in the next movie. But we'll see about the rest of them.
Okay.
All right. So to wrap this up, overall, how do you feel about this movie?
I enjoyed it. I had a good time. Like, it's... I know I talk about how I don't watch too many movies or get too involved in the pop culture thing, but that doesn't mean that I can't sit down and just be entertained. I was entertained.
Right, exactly. Well, I think also the atmosphere in which you watch the movies was
very enjoyable. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like, hey, whatever. Like, by the way, I love these movies. If audience are wondering, and my enjoyment of these movies are not ironic in any way, shape, or form. I hate the term guilty pleasure. I hate ironically enjoying things. I don't think these are good movies. That doesn't mean I'm ironically enjoying them. I'm legitimately enjoying these bad movies. You're allowed to like bad things. You just have to admit they are stupid and you love them.
That's fair.
And that's how I enjoy these movies.
Nothing wrong with that.
Have you seen Point Break?
With Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze?
Yes.
Many years ago. Great movie. Great in the same sense that it's ridiculous, over the top, absurdity, but it's entertaining.
Would you be surprised to realize it's so the same to a point that this is pretty much the same movie except with cars instead of surfing?
I could see that. No Gary Busey, though.
No Gary Busey.
All right.
Is Vince Gary Busey?
No.
This movie would be a lot better if Vince was Gary Busey.
All right, so who would be the Gary Busey character in this movie? They just absolutely unhinged, crazy
Vince.
Vin Diesel. Oh no, Vince. Vince. But Vince and Paul Walker are enemies in the movie, whereas Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves are buddies.
That's true. Well, buddies. Keanu Reeves is still an undercover cop.
Yeah, true. Yeah, all right. Like roles.
I'm not saying beat to beat. I'm saying like overall premise. It's pretty much the same movie.
Yeah, the cop befriends a criminal. And
yeah. And in Point Break, everybody have long hair. In this movie, nobody have hair.
Yeah. Oh no, dude! Paul Walker has those golden locks.
That's true.
Oof.
That's true. He looked like he came from the Brady Bunch. So overall, you looking forward to the? You're still in.
I'm still in.
You're still in. Looking forward to the next movie.
Looking forward to the next movie.
Next one is going to be one of the rough ones, although it does get like a little insane in ways I like. Like there will be certain things and technologies that are utilized in that movie, which will make you go, "What?"
All right.
Especially considering it's like 2002, 2003.
All right, and this is Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
All right, I'm ready.
Do you know who sings that song?
No.
Okay, you'll find out. All right, guys. This is it for our inaugural episode of Pop Cultural Exchange.
What are we gonna put up for the background here? What's
At some point, I figured we're gonna get a picture of the family.
Yeah. All right.
When you learn to love the family, we'll put up the picture of the family.
It wasn't about the cars at all.
No, it's about family.
It's about family.
You can follow me on Twitter at Flaming Eyebrows. Yes, you heard that right. At Flaming Eyebrows, no space, nothing. You can follow Jay on the street if you see him, and you can whisper in his ears.
I don't have Twitter.
Yeah, just follow him and whisper into his ears. I love your podcast. I promise he won't punch you in the face. So look forward to the next one. Check out the YouTube channel, Much Ado About Nerd Things. If you're not watching there already, we will get up all the seeds and on all your favorite podcast sites, and then it'll either be in the description already or next episode, because we have to see the first episode, so we can't give you the links right now.
The link will be right here.
Right. That doesn't mean anything for people who are listening on the audio
doesn't
phone.
automatically do it. It doesn't automatically, because when I watch YouTube videos, like, oh yeah, if we just go to this link here and they point to it, and then it magically appears.
I'm just gonna edit sign.
I'm looking on the screen here.
Yep.
And I'm pointing up here.
Yep.
And it's not happening. Does that happen later?
I'm just gonna edit in the sign that says Jay is a dick. Alright guys, peace out. We'll see you next episode for Too Fast, Too Furious.